Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me on my playback. I just got back home from the library, the lab, because they're going to check my thyroid again to make sure it's, because I have an underactive thyroid. And also, I went to Goodwill. I wasn't able to get $25 worth because it was giving me 10% otherwise, and that's okay. Well, anyway, long story short, welcome to Kellie Reviews Live. I'm your hostess with the most, Kellie. If you care. Anyway, the books and the movies that I got are okay. And honestly, I forgot to take back that one book. That one movie, Sing. So I'll do that. But anyway, I was actually watching a interview on, was that on Netflix or was it on Prime? I'm not sure. I don't remember which. Anyway, the book, Viola Davis was talking about an Oprah. I love Oprah. I do. I just don't like it when she interrupts everything. It's like, wow, lady, really? This isn't your fucking show anymore. This isn't Oprah anymore. Anyway, I'm going to have a lot of hate mail for that. But anyways, I love Oprah. I do. It's just, lady, shut the fuck up. Let Viola talk. It's like, I understand you want control over the interview, but my God, it's a two-way story. Two-way. Anyway, I'll get off my bot. I'll stop grandstanding. Anyway, the book that they were talking about is this one. I just picked it up from the library today. And I was going to buy it at first, and I was like, hell, why don't you just save your money? Yeah, save your money and see if it's available at the library. And voila. Voila. Yes, it's available. So, yeah, it's a poignant memoir. So in my book, you will meet a little girl named Viola who ran from her past until she made a life-changing decision to stop running forever. This is my story, from a crumbling apartment in Central Falls, Rhode Island, to the stage in New York City and beyond. This is the path I took to finding my purpose, but also my voice in a world that didn't always see me. As I wrote Finding Me, my eyes were open to the truth of how our stories are often not given close examination. We are forced to reinvent them to to fit into a crazy, competitive, judgmental world. So I wrote this for anyone running through the life untethered, desperate and clawing their way through the murky memories, trying to get some form of love, self-love, for anyone who needs reminding that life worth living can be born from radical honesty, and the courage to shed facades and be you. Yeah, I keep on looking at my viewer count. No one's here yet, so no biggie, no worries. You just don't want to watch it. No worries. So this is her when she was younger, when Viola was younger. Yes. Yes. So I got that. In the other book I got was called Plan Power. Plan Power. Leave that one. Sit. Okay, you don't want that. Plan Power. Good looking guy. Look at him. Isn't he a good looking guy? Yeah. So Plan Power. Flip your plate, change your weight. That looks so good. That burger looks good, doesn't it? The Simple 4-Week Plan by Dr. Ian K. Smith. Or Ian. Harness the unique power of plants without giving up meat and fish. Would plant-based eating sound good to you if only it didn't mean you weren't allowed to have anything else? Do you want the undeniable benefits of fruits, vegetables, and complex carbs in your diet without giving up the meat, dairy, fish, and fats you love? Plant Power delivers the most flavorful and favorable plant-based foods to your plate with life and weight-changing effects. In a detailed and easy-to-implement 4-week program, you will day by day flip your diet from 70% animal-based products and 30% plant-based to 30% foods and 70% plant-based. So basically, we're going to be flipping our diet. Okay, interesting. Not on from the author. This might be the most personal health book I've ever written. I've been happy omnivore my entire life. A man that eats meat, omnivore, or a person that eats meat. Sorry. A Homo sapien that eats meat, if you want to get really scientific. Enjoying my cabbage and sweet potatoes as much as I have my steak and juicy burgers. That sounds good too. I love the taste and texture of meat and the thought of never being able to eat my honey glazed salmon or barbecued short ribs cause me to quiver. As I've gotten older, however, I've noticed that my body responds differently to a heavy animal-based meal. Yeah, I think that's all of us. It seems to stick around in my digestive tract longer, and I feel more sluggish than I remember feeling when I was younger. Yeah, it's kind of like a common trend, isn't it? Yeah. Welcome, number one. I'm not sure who you are. Put yourself in the chat to tell me who you are. I'd like to know. People close to me have been vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians. I didn't know that it was such a thing, a pescatarian. And almost any tarian you can imagine, but I have happily and confidently continued on my path of eating whatever I want from both the plant and animal world. Right? Okay. All in all, moderation. I was never one to have a streak for breakfast, for a burger, a steak so high I have to almost break my jaw hinge. Oh God, yes. Doesn't that sound even remotely good? Yum. You know, those like triple, quadruple patties, that's like, you just want to break your jaw just to eat it. Oh, yum. Yes. Oh. I ate meat when I wanted, but I didn't crave it I didn't crave it or feel unsatisfied if it wasn't on the dinner menu. Given that I've been a fitness enthusiast my entire life and continue to press a lot of iron in the gym, I also believed for a long time that I needed the meat, protein to build and maintain bigger and stronger muscles. Then something happened. A news alert came across my phone, bringing my attention to an article about bodybuilders and endurance athletes who have been given up red meat and had become plant-based eaters and saw no diminution in their muscle size or strength. In fact, they talked about their increased energy levels and feeling of wellness with their new style of eating. I have a question for the gallery. I have a question. I was brought up where, why join a gym? Why join a gym for fitness? Exercise, all that good jazz, when you can clean the house, do activities at the house to take care of, your home, right? You get the exercise, you get the stretching, you get the pressing, all kinds of activity to burn off the calories, right? So my question is that which is better? Cleaning house or going to the gym? That's a question for y'all. It really is. Anyway, I continue. I did what I always do when intrigued. I studied and learned and dug into the facts as well as experimental reporting of others. I realized that this plant-based eating was something I wanted to try. Sit. Want to see? Want to see baby girl? Here, I'll show you baby girl. Sit. See? You probably can't see. Here. Now, can you see? Not really. A little bit, right? Oh, you don't want that. Okay. You can see her a little bit, right? Okay. You let me know if she eats it, okay? So I would slowly reduce my consumption of red meat, increase my intake of fruits and vegetables, and eat more lean chicken and fish when I had the urge. I must be honest and tell you that it wasn't an adjustment at first. I found myself having to avoid the butcher section of the grocery store, which was always my second stop after the where am I? After the produce section. I started ordering my pancakes without bacon. Oh, that sounds good too. You should never eat one of these books. You should never read one of these books. You should never read one of these books when you're hungry. Sit. Good girl. So, anyways, and opting for a chicken sandwich instead. I don't want that. Of the burger that I seem to be calling my name. I didn't tell anyone that what I was doing. I just changed my eating habits quietly, without fanfare, keeping a checklist in my mind of how many times I sat down to eat down to a meal that didn't have any red meat or poultry, and feeling proud of myself when I could go an entire week without steak or a burger. Okay, bye. Whoever you are, bye. The results were immediate. I felt lighter, more energetic, and more present. My weightlifting didn't suffer with this new dietary change. And I started trying new recipe and meat combinations that never caught my attention in the past. But I quickly learned what I had been missing all these years. I'm not a vegan or vegetarian, but I'm not the big meat eater that I used to be either. I found that eating more plant-based not only made me feel better, but saved me a lot of money. and gave me greater flexibility when eating on a different out a different restaurant around the world. They're always something I can find on the menu since meat is no longer a requirement. You too can make this easy transition to plant-based eating and not only experience the truly transformative powers plans, but pitch in and help save the planet while doing so. Plant power gives your life the proverbial efficiency of two birds with one stone. Well, maybe two cabbage instead. Interesting. Ooh, I like this. He shows, the heart foods. Okay, what do you want? Oh, you want the ball. You want the ball. She wants the ball. There you go. So it shows the heart foods. Eat more variety of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and with vegetable oils, canola, corn oil, peanut, safflower, but soybean and sunflower. Okay. So eat less saturated fat, trans fat, sodium, red meat, sweets. I know we all like our sweets, don't we? I know I do. Lower your blood pressure. Oh, he even has the you don't see it, but he even has the whatchamacallit, the blood pressure on here. That's cool. Oh, I didn't know bananas were a blood pressure lowering food. I didn't know that. I know they have a lot of potassium in them, but I didn't know they were blood pressure lowering food. That's cool. Lose weight. Okay. I like it so far. And that was it for that. Now the movies that I got, right? I'm going to watch this weekend. Actually, I picked it up today, and Fantastic Beasts of the Crimes of Grindelwald. From the creator of Harry Potter, after the powerful dark wizard Gellert escapes from custody, maxologist Newt Scamander is called by Hogwarts professor Albus Dumbledore once again facing unforeseen dangers. Newt must find a way to stop Grindelwald, whose plan for pure-blood wizards to rule over non-magical beings threatens to dive the entire wizarding world. Huh. Interesting. Interesting indeed. And the one, I was going to pick up the other one. In fact, I don't have it in here. The one book, but it's the second one in the series. I have the other one on hold, so whenever they get it in, I'll let you guys know. But the other movie that I picked up, I thought about it, and I'm like, it's this one. It's called Lockdown, right? And on the back of it, I didn't realize it until I saw Anne Hathaway on there, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting that. Yeah. So, this is just as they decide to separate, Linda and Paxton find life has other plans when they end up stuck at home in mandatory lockdown. Cohabitation proves to be the challenge, but fueled by poetry and copious amounts of wine, it will bring them closer together in the most surprising ways. Aw. Okay. Now, are we ready? Are we ready? Me too. Me too. Me too. I'm continuing on with this. The resting place. Okay. Yes. So we're in Eleanor right now. So we turned on the fridge and freezer when we bought the food we bought the food in this afternoon. Grateful to find they worked. Although there's still no sign of Bengston. It seems like he's made sure we have electricity and water in the main house, which is a relief. You know what's really funny? What's really funny is that when I was in grade school, I had a teacher called Miss Young. Hi, Miss Young, if you ever see me. Yeah, you probably don't recognize me because back when I was somebody else. You know, it's like, yeah. And if you ever want to know, give me a message and I'll let you know furthermore. Anyway, moving back to this. If not, we could have had to do a food run for meals that doesn't need to be cooked. Now I can make lentil soup for dinner as planned. We'll be staying out here till Sunday if needed, but the lawyer said it would probably take that long. We have to compile an inventory of different buildings on the land with their rough square footage and function in case we do decide to sell, and a separate list of furniture, paintings, and other movables in the house. Where is it now? Huh? Where is it now, baby girl? Huh? Oh, is this what you want? No. Is this what you want? No. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Here. I know what you want. You want the yellow ball. Yeah, she wanted a yellow ball. You guys are missing all of this. Anyways, whatever. The faint hum of the ancient fridge has rocked me into a dreamlike state. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped a paragraph. Where is it? Shit. Oh, here we go. Thank you. I love it. Don't you just hate that when shit falls down and you don't have the bookmark in there? Oh. And since I came from there, my winter jacket is right there. So let's continue, shall we? You know what? I'll have the main screen. There we go. I'm bigger now. So, yeah. There were shelves and binders in the study upstairs, and the lawyer hoped he would be good at he would be able to find most of what needed in there. He also said it might be good for Veronica and me to consider what we need to keep. When he said it to Veronica, Veronica rolled her eyes, but I wasn't sure how I was supposed to feel. I have no memories of this place. Nothing here feels like it belongs to me. The faint hum of the ancient fridge has rocked me into a dreamlike state. There's no clock in the kitchen, and I've been so lost in thought while stirring the sound that it's only now I realize Sebastian has been gone a while. I look up from the black cast iron Dutch oven and see the baguettes lying white and half thawed on the counter by the stove and the kitchen window behind them. It's pitch black outside, so dark that it looks like a soft black velvet curtain is draped on the other side of the window. You know what? I think from now on, maybe I should start saying "Don't come." Maybe you guys will come and read and for a while. Who knows? I shift the pot to one side. You little stinker. See, this is why I can't read very often, because baby girl wants attention. Look at that face. I can actually capture that face now. Isn't that cool? Anyways, I don't know if you can hear me. And if you can't, oh well. If you can, great. So I shift the pot to the one side so the soap won't burn and walk through the service passage to the hallway. Oh, the soup. Okay. The passage is so narrow it feels like my shoulders could skim both sides. And its nondescript white wallpaper has started to feel back at the seams. Oh, here it is. He can't have gone more than 20 minutes max. He probably just gotten carried away in the quest of the perfect. I'm going to put my feet up. Why not? Right? Why not? There. That's better. Oh, shit. I'm going down. That's the bad part about this chair. You go up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh, I'm sorry, hon. There we go. There we go. Much better. There we go. There we go. You know what? I don't give a damn. It's fine. It probably just carried away the quest for the perfect sticks for the masonry heater. Meticulously handpicked branches that aren't too thin or too thick or too wet from the snow are starting to rot. That's exactly the sort of thing that Sebastian could get excited about. Everything's all right. Nothing has happened. Are you quite positive about that, Victoria? Surely you know better than to feel safe. I try to shake Vivian's voice from my head. I'm better now, not cured, because there's no cure, but better. That's what my therapist, Karina, says. The mantra we've been working on since I started seeing her 8 years ago, even more so now since I came from the hospital. A little bit every day. I quickly pull on my boots and jacket and zip it up, and then open the door and step outside in the snow. The air out there is biting. The air out here is biting. The sort of a cold that feels like a dry, crackling tongue just lapping at your skin. And I wish I had a scarf to pull up over my nose. The temperature must have dropped about 20 degrees since we arrived. When I checked the weather report for the weekend, it said it was a risk of strong winds and a little snow before Saturday. But I don't remember seeing anything about such low temperatures. In the darkness, the others buildings are nothing more than murky outlines, and the forest looms around me like a wall. It's hard not to feel very alone out here. I'm not an outdoorsy person. Vivian would sometimes joke that out our ancestors invented the indoors to save us from the so-called great outdoors, and that it would be disrespectful to go against their wishes. Then she would give that ringing laugh that sounded like glasses clinking. As soon as I heard it, any anger. As soon as I heard that doesn't even make sense. Well, you guys tell me if it makes sense, okay? Because I'm kind of curious. The sentence goes like this. Then she would give that ringing laugh that sounded like glasses clinking. And soon as I heard it, any anger or disappointment I was feeling toward her would seep out of me. Okay, never mind. I just had to reread it, I guess. She knew that, of course. It was awesome why she chose to laugh. My breath my breath comes out in strained white puffs, and I squint at the ground to try to see where Sebastian's footprints lead. It's impossible to tell. We've been going in and out of the house all afternoon with bags and food from the car, and the snow outside the front door has frozen over an icy sledge peppered with gravel. Here it is. I'm going to put my hair up quick. I like my long hair, but I also like control. Yeah, I like control too. There we go. Much better, I think. There we go. Well, good enough, right? Good enough. Where am I? Sebastian, I tried calling. I will hit. I will him to respond, but hearing nothing more than resounding silence. A little gust of air blows straight from my flimsy jacket, and my teeth start to chatter. I press my arms against my body, unable to escape the thought that it can't be good for Sebastian to have been out in the weather for how long can it be? Almost an hour? Anxiety starts to gnaw at me from the inside out. Everything's all right, I tell myself. Nothing has happened. What could have ever happened? We're in the middle of nowhere. There's no one out here to hurt him. There's no one out here to hurt here but Sebastian and me. Sebastian, I shout again and start walking around the house. The gravel and ice crunch under my boots, and I hunch my shoulders against the cold. Oh, here it is. Oops. Ready? There you go. See, this is the stuff I normally edit out of my videos. You'll be thankful I do that. Sometimes, anyway. Sometimes I just let it go and speed up the process and edit it, make it look a little bit better than that. Oh, never mind. Go get it. It's right there. Go get it. Go get it. It's right there. Go get it. Don't honor me. Go get it. Go get it. There's no one here. We're in the middle of nowhere. No one is watching me from the streets, from the trees. My goosebumps are just cold, nothing else. Sebastian, I shout for the third time. I round the corner to the back of the house. I must be outside of the dining room now because the lights are off. It's dark. I can't even see where I'm putting my feet. I look up at the horizon and stop for a second. I know. It's a little irritating, but you know what? I still love her. Do I have anything on my desk I can put my hair up? I don't want to put my hair in a rubber band. I really don't. So anyway, the stars are twinkling in a band across the sky, so bright in the horizon, frozen air that they look burnished. They gleam with like freshly polished silver, like scissors on a rug. I turn around, but freeze mid-step. My breath catches in my throat. What was that? It sounds like crunching underfoot, like ice crunching underfoot. Sebastian, is that you? I call out, but my voice sounds brittle and unfamiliar, as though I'm coming from far away. The feeling that I've been the feeling that I've been being watched is now so strong, it's almost physical. I focus on what Karina had told me before about having to keep my breathing under control. It's the body that panics first, the brain that follows. If I can just keep my breath slow and force myself to relax, and I can trick my mind into calm. I look away from the house, nothing but shadow upon shadow, and shades of gray and the deepest of blues. But then the cloud bank moves across the sky, and for a moment, the moon peeks out from between the gap. There, but by one of the cottages, the one by the lake with the slanted black roof. The scream catches in my throat. There's something standing there, a few feet from the cottage door, a tall, slim, black silhouette, seeming genderless and featureless, just black contours and long, dark limbs. Then the moon disappears back behind the cloud, and the darkness takes over. I don't think. I start running back to the side of the house, my blood pounding in my ears. I'm slipping and sliding on the icy surface, but I don't stop. With every breath, cold air grates at my throat, but I can't stop. It's when I round the corner that it happens. I turn slightly too fast and lose my footing. I feel the impact in my wrist first. Then my chin hits the ground and I give a short, stifled cry of pain as the skin breaks. The fall leaves me seeing stars, and I lie there on the ground. I in a temporary paralysis of shock and pain rather. The fear is still pulsing through my veins, but my thoughts have scattered. I no longer remember what I'm scared of. I know I need to get away, but not what from or why. The footsteps approach, quick and purposeful, shoes crunching on the frozen ground. Before me, I see the blank, expressionless face and black hat. Vivian's body sprawled on the rock. Oh my God. The blood splattered, scissored blades like obscenely splayed legs. I started to scuttle backward over the snow and ice, but slip again. And when my right wrist hits the ground, a jolt of pain runs up my arm. But then I hear a familiar face. Eleanor? Ellie? What are you doing? What is it? Sebastian's voice breaks from my fog or fear. I blink into the light being pointed at my face and see a hand reach out. I grab his right hand with my left hand and let him pull me up, my knees still shaking. I wrap my arms around him and squeeze him so tight he gasped and let out a little laugh before hugging me back. Are you okay? He asks in my ear. What is it? It's only when I let out a few cold, dry sobs into his jacket that his tone changes. Hey. He steps back a little. Hello, Eleanor. What is it? In the bluish glare of the light from his phone, I can see that his eyebrows are furrowed. He holds the phone up to my face and whistles when he sees my chin. Ouch, he says, touching my jaw with his thumb. You hit yourself pretty hard there. No wonder you're upset. No wonder you're upset. I shake my head and look over my shoulder, but the light of his phone has blinded me to what little I could make out before. I saw someone, I say, turning back to him, my hand still on his sleeve. What? Over by the moon. I saw someone standing by that cottage. There was someone there. He shakes his head, but I see his eyes pass over the shoulder to the cottage. Are you sure? He asks. It's pretty dark. I'm sure. Even as I say it, I start to wonder if it's true. Karina's calm, reassuring voice echoes in my ear. Your fear is valid, but that doesn't make it real. The fear may be true, but it doesn't have to be your truth. This wouldn't be the first time I have been something that wasn't. I've seen something that wasn't. I thought it was. The first time I have let the fear take over. The first time I have let the fear take over, and I was alone out in the dark. Sebastian rubs my arm. Look, he says with a calm voice and soft. I get that you're scared. I know this isn't easy for you. Just say the word and we'll leave here, okay? We can't let the lawyer take care of everything. I take a deep breath and shake my head. No, you're right. I just was scared. I didn't know where you were, and it was dark, and I started to see things. Sebastian puts his arms around my shoulders, and I lean my head against his chest. Shall we go inside and take a look at that? Yes. It's bleeding. Quite a lot. Not that Sebastian. Now that Sebastian's here with me, with a cell phone, flashlight, and reassuring voice, and Sebastian's smell, my breathing finally starts to settle. What were you doing out here, by the way? He asked as we round the corners to the car in the front door. You were gone so long, I wondered where you were. Oh, I'm sorry, honey, he says. I was just trying to see if there was a woodshed or something out here. All the sticks on the ground were frozen. Before I can reply, Sebastian stops short. He points the flashlight up ahead of him. A little cone of light sweeps over his car, bouncing off the red paintwork. The gap in the open door on the passenger side is only a few inches wide, but it looks like a gaping mouth. Sebastian says nothing. Did you get something out of the car? I ask. I'm willing. Good Lord. So I'm willing him to say yes, but I already know that he won't. Maybe it opened when we were getting the food out of the trunk, he says. He's let go of my hand, walks over to the car, opens the door a little farther and slams it shut with a clap that makes me flinch. He turns back to me and smiles. At least I think it's a smile. In the winter darkness, it's hard to be sure. You know, the more I'm reading this out loud to y'all and to myself, the more I'm realizing that there's emphasis in words, literally, regardless if it's a narrator, the first person or the second person. I'm realizing that there's more emphasis and there's a structure in the actual sentence, not delineating from the actual sentence structure, but there's actually a tense, not a tense, though that's the wrong. A tense. It's not past, present, future tense. And that's not what I'm talking about. Like a tense, like not a holding or a pause, but more of a a pace. That's what I was looking for, pace. So he turns back and smiles. At least I think that, yeah. Come on. Let's go patch you up and get some food in you. Sounds good? He takes me by the hand. Here. This is exactly what I mean. Especially with our comprehension and reading a whole phrase. Okay. I said he takes me by the hand, right? It says he takes my hand again. You get the picture. So he takes me by the hand, squeezes my fingers with warm ones. I follow him up the front steps. Ooh, cool. We're gonna get into Thursday, February 20th. Cool. Hold on a second. Let me get Cass's ball. Hi, whoever you are. I see one person on screen. Yay. I get an audience of one. I feel so special now. Well, at least I have an audience of one now. I mean, heaven forbid, those other people that actually have live shows that have tens of thousands of people watching them, they're going to feel a little annoyed that you're watching me now. I don't care. Either way. Make yourself known. Oh, hi. Hi from Italy. Hi, Leonardo. I hope you're doing great. All right. Just as I'm stepping through the door, I think I hear it again. A footstep just a few yards away. Now snow scrunching, excuse me, snow crunching underfoot. There's nothing here, nothing there. But I don't turn around to make sure. Thursday, February 20th. Eleanor, again. I've been trying to get to sleep for hours. Sebastian is snoring gently beside me, but that isn't what's keeping me awake. From a young age, I learned to fall asleep to the sounds of clinking glasses and ringing laughter in the next room. So noise doesn't bother me. When I did get to sleep, it would always be deep and dreamless. Would be. I've been prescribed sleeping pills, but I try not only to take them if I have to. They leave me tired and sluggish. The next day, make my limbs feel heavy and unwieldy and uncoordinated. Oh, okay. It was nice to meet you. You're a music producer. Wow. Sounds pretty cool. What do you write? Is there a genre that you write for or type of book that you write? I've been, yeah, okay. And they don't stop the nightmares. I rarely ever remember them the next morning. It's more of a feeling, an impression, a flash of silver, sticky blood on my fingers, dying, rattling breaths, blank faces all around me, staring. I know I'll have nightmares if I fall asleep now. The fear still hasn't left me. I always knew that terror lay in the body. I grew up with the fears that crept under the skin, flowed through my veins, and bubbled away in my stomach, just biding their time for the chance to break loose. But that evening in September, the fear took root deep within me, became my constant companion. Oh, that's cool. I I'm more intrigued with thrillers and fantasy because fantasies. Well, I guess both thrillers and fantasies can have a hit and miss, but I'm more or less in tune to thrillers, like thriller mystery, like psycho thrillers, things like that. Karina says it will always be that way. That is natural. She says that wounds can leave scars on our souls, just like on our bodies, and we have to learn to live with them rather than try to rid ourselves of them completely. Oh, okay. Wow. Is it easier for you to write in English first and then translate it into Italian? Oh, really? Wow, that takes a lot of creativity to make your own book covers. The thumbnails. Mm. After that night in September, I tried to ignore it at first, pretend it was nothing. Sure, I would wake up kicking and screaming every night, and Sebastian had to take time off work because I couldn't handle being alone. But still, I plowed on. That's an interesting position that you would do. I plowed on. You spell it Ploughed versus Plowed. Hmm. Yeah, writing in English is easier than writing it. Oh, I can imagine. You have more tenses, not tenses, but um, what do you call it? Um, Accents. And English, you really don't have an accent that I know of. I know in French you have accent. I know in Spanish you have an accent. I know, yeah, in Italian you have an accent. Most foreign languages have an accent. I don't know if Irish does or not, but a lot of the um, languages outside of English have an accent. It's a little bit easy. It's a little bit easier writing in English or translating it to English because of the fact that there's no accent on any of the letters or words or phrases. I ate regularly and exercised every morning, running until the adrenaline made my mouth taste of thunder. How I don't understand how your mouth can taste of thunder. Anyway, and my eyes would sting with sweat. Now I get that one. Yeah. I could relax briefly when Sebastian was there and the door was locked. But when I got that call from this police station, it all fell apart. It's fairly common with this time of a type of crime, a robbery that escalated. The victims almost always chosen at random. Of course, we'll keep our eyes open. Sometimes new lines of inquiry can open up after years. I bet they can. When I found out that they were closing the investigation, it was like that little thread that was holding everything together snapped. The hope that they would find whoever did it. I stopped going to work, stopped running. Eventually, I stopped going out at all. It was all the people. I couldn't handle them. All those faces, I couldn't tell them apart. Any one of them could have been the person in the doorway. Sebastian was right. I know he was. I was seeing things. He would he had told me in the days before was admitted to the hospital. I was seeing and hearing things all the time. Footsteps in the hallway, outside, faces in the windows, stress-induced hallucinations, they called them. when when I was discharged, the doctor said the risk of them coming back was very small. It was trauma-induced reaction. I finished the writing a book a week ago, which is called Final Imaginations. The book has 16 chapters. Okay, the first few chapters I wrote were originally in Italian, then I decided to write. Yeah, I think you're better off writing in English. You can easily translate it to another foreign language or your um, primary language. That would be a little bit easier. But now, you but you don't sell your books? What do you do with them? I mean, do you have a, what do you call it, are you just writing them to write them, or what? I mean, usually people have a goal in mind to do something. I mean, myself, I have a number of manuscripts that I'm putting together, and life gets away from me, so I'm doing other things in the meantime. But eventually, I would like to publish, especially for Amazon, going onto Amazon, things like that. Um, I forgot where I'm at. Oh, okay. That's cool. Well, you know what? That's the best thing about it all. You know, you have to be very, what's the word? Confident in yourself if you're going to give or share your works to anybody, regardless of who they are, friend, foe, confidant, whatever it might be. But, you know, that's very therapeutic too, you know, being able to write, especially um, regardless of what type of writing it is. Mm. Okay. Oh, recent book. What? The recent book took almost a year to make. Really? Wow. Well, number one, congratulations. You know, it's a lot to put together. It really is. Speaking from a writer and a reader myself, it's a lot to put together, regardless of what type of material it is. When I found out that they were closing the investigation, was like a little thread was holding everything together, snapped. The the hope that they would find whoever did it. I stopped. Okay, I already read that. Okay, any of them could have been the person in the doorway. Sebastian was right. I know he was. I was seeing things. He had told me that in the days before I was admitted to the hospital, I was seeing and hearing things all the time. Auditory auditory hallucinations along with visual hallucination. Just regular hallucinations. Uh, Footsteps in the hallway outside, faces in the windows, stress-induced hallucinations, they call them. When I was discharged, was discharged, the doctor said the risk of them coming back was very small. Oh, cool. Well, that's cool. What type of books do you like to read then? I mean, considering it sounds like it's more of a therapeutic tool for you to write. So, what type of books do you like to read or material? Tonight was no hallucination. It was just a shadow in the night. I was seeing things, an optical illusion, nothing more, right? Well, the truth about it, Leonardo, is that it doesn't matter how many chapters it is. I myself, I like a book that has skinny chapters in it because you have more of a sense of accomplishment. That's just my personal opinion. I myself, I'm a slow reader. Um, so it takes time for me to get through a book. I mean, some other people will do it other ways. They'll comprehend different ways. But me myself, I I don't mind. I prefer to have the shorter chapters. And if it has like a couple hundred pages in the book with short chapters, you have more of accomplishment. But that's just my opinion. So stress-induced hallucinations, they call them. When I was discharged, the doctor said the risk of them coming back was very small. It was trauma-induced reaction. Tonight was no hallucination. It was just a shadow in the night. I was seeing things, an optical illusion, nothing more, right? Yeah, right. Well, your mind does play tricks on you. The faint light cast subtle shadows across the old wallpaper. The moon must have broken through the clouds again. My ears are pricked, though I know I should let it go. I'm listening out for twigs cracking down on the ground. Heavy snow, heavy shoes on snow, on frozen snow. Stop, Victoria. Enough with all this. Why must you always be so hysterical? I don't know where you get it from. Not from your mother in any case. The comforter suddenly feels heavy and oppressive. I carefully peel it back. Feel the cool air against my bare legs. I just check the front door. I'll just check the front door is locked. Wow, you could really put a conditional in there too. It would have actually sounded better. I'll just check if the front door is locked. My favorite book so far, actually, I'll show it to you. Just versus just telling you. This is the only book so far. This is the only book so far that I've never been able to rate ever. Because I don't normally like to read anything less than a 3 out of a 5. Anything less than that is really just not worth my time. No. I'm sorry, but you know what? If you don't have enough information in the book, if you're not intriguing enough for a book, anyways, I digress. So, without further ado, for the bestie resistance. I am learning French too. I read this book. I got it from the library. I bought it from Book of the Month Club, and I fell in love with it. I did. I've never, ever, 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 ever read historical fiction in my life. This is my first historical fiction book that I've ever read. I fell in love with it. It's about it's this character is not an actual character. She's real. Her name is Belle, and she's biracial. I'm sorry, she's not biracial. She's she's black, but she passes as white. Back in the day, from J.P. Morgan, the famous library, the Morgan in New York. Yeah, it's based on that. So, and I fell in love with it. And not only that, but Marie Benedict does a lot of the historical fiction type of books. Victoria Christopher Murray does more of the romance type of thing. And so, yeah, I read it, and honestly, I loved it. I loved it. The other book is called When We Were Yours. It has 2 girls on the cover, one girl in pigtails, the other one holding a teddy bear, I think it is. At the beginning of it, these kids needed more structure, and then from that point on, then they went to an actual home, an orphanage, if you will. And the people at this orphanage were horrible. And it's a dual timeline by the end of the book, I was crying. I was crying. I really was. It touched my soul. Um, Another book. In fact, do I have it in here? Um, I'll be right back. Be right back. I got this book. I got it from the library, and this person, this lady, she I got the second book. They're all standalones. They're all standalones, mind you. Okay, I got the second book from the library, and I'm like, you know, mm, this book, Una Out of Order. I cried at the end of it. Oh my God. The reason I cried, I mean, I'm not trying to give spoilers here, but the reason why I cried is because the only person that Una had in her life were two people in her life. And she finds out much later in the book that the two people in her life are technically her son and her mother. Right? So what happens in later on in life, the only two people that knew about her condition that she trusted and didn't fuck her over were her son and her mother. And I think her last leap, second to last leap, was her mother was on her deathbed. That touched me very, very, very much. The reason I say that is because my mother passed away in 2019. I was like this with her, big time. And I was her caregiver. So, she's very rich, from, I think it was, what was it? And that's weird. That was in there. I think it was 1989, 1982. She's 18 years old. And every New Year's Eve, the stroke of midnight, she leaps either forward or backward. It's kind of like quantum leap back in the day, you know, and it's much more pronounced than that. So then I believe I ordered the third book on my Kindle. I think I ordered it on my Kindle. Yeah, I did. I know I ordered it. So it's either on back order or whatnot. But anyhow, I ordered the second one and I ordered the first one. I love Margarita Montemore. She's the one that created this book. So out of those two recommendations, yes, the personal librarian, it's very different from one another. If you ever curious about time travel, yes. You remember back in the day, well, if you're old enough, if you remember back in the day about Back to the Future, the movies Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3, right? It's similar, very similar. So I loved the time continuum. I really enjoy historical fiction because you're going back in time. You are. And the other one that I read, it's not, I think I put it at a 4.5, was Surviving Savannah. The book Surviving Savannah. It's about, God, what is that? The steamboat engine in I think it was 1939 that went down because someone screwed up. It's the Titanic for from a later age. So that's the another one. So thank you for asking that. Do you have a favorite book? I know I gave you an elongated answer, but you know what? People that read books will do that for you. All right, where am I at here? I'll see how many pages are left on this. Oh, not that bad. Not that bad, though. Just 2 more pages. After that night in September, I tried to ignore it at first, pretend it was nothing. Sure, I would wake up kicking. Oh, the type of books that I mentioned to you? Yeah, they're if that's what you mean, the type of books that I recommended. Yeah, I love I honestly in my just what I like. I like feminine or female authors versus male or masculine authors because of the fact that honestly, when you put a love scene together, you can actually put a love scene together. You don't have to shy away from the articulation and the sentiment and the stress and pace in the actual passage. You can do more, you know. I digress, but yeah, I love it. In fact, there was a book. In fact, I bought it from Amazon, and it's called Misery. I actually watched the movie several times, right? But the book, if you ever watch the movie Misery, with James Caan and Kathy Bates, the book, if you ever like it, that is. I really enjoy the movie, but the book is so much better than that. I like the movie a lot. Don't get me wrong. I like the movie a lot. But the book is so much more. It goes into detail. The thing about it is that Stephen King didn't have any control over the playwright of the movie. So it's like, really? You guys kind of numbed it down, You guys kind of played it down a little bit to what what Annie Oakes is in that movie versus what she is in the book. If you like horror, seriously, if you like horror, read the book. I can't stress it enough. Read the book. Okay, I'll shut up now. Assassiny by Thomas. The Assassiny by Thomas Gifford. Grifford. Assassiny. I'm going to check that out. 1 second. Goodreads. I go on Goodreads a lot, so that's where I'm at most of the time for my stuff. So, Assassiny. Okay, what is that? The Oh, here we go. Oh, come on. I can't spell. There we go. The Assassiny. It's 1982. In the Vatican, priestly vultures gather around the dying pope, whispering the names of possible successors. In a forgotten monastery on Ireland's gale-swept coast, a dangerous document is hidden, waiting to be claimed. And in a family chapel in Princeton, New Jersey, a nun is murdered at her prayer. Oh, I like it so far. Sister Valentine was an outspoken activist, a thorn in the church's side. When her brother, lawyer Ben Driscoll, realizes the church will never investigate her death, he sets out to find the murderer himself and uncovers an explosive secret: the Assassiny, an age-old brotherhood of killers. Once they were hired by princes of the church to protect its dangerous times, but whose order do they obey now? Ooh, I like it. How many pages are you? Oh, well, that's okay. That's all right. The wind chill factor. Ooh. Okay, how many pages are you? Tell me. Where are, come on, pages. Where are you? Pages. Doesn't tell me how many pages you are. All right. Well, let's go on to my library quick and see if you guys have it. Because if you do, I'll put it on my TBR list. ES. Assassiny. Come on, where are you? No. Okay. Well, do you Grifford? Okay, let's try Thomas Grifford then, shall we? Our author, Thomas Grifford. Thomas. Wow, they don't even have it. Isn't that interesting? Oh, that's why. Thomas Gifford, not Grifford. Okay, Gifford. Let's try that. Ooh, Saints Rest. Holy Gothic. What I like about this, Leonardo, is the fact that the library I go to updated everything with their website. And so I like the visual on it, on the whole thing. So guess what? It's all updated. It's all really nice. It really is. But the one that, the one that they're talking about is Saints Rest. In this peaceful countryside of the Midwest, a conspiracy has been born. Its leaders among the most respected names in America. They believe their cause is just to save the nation from. Oh my God, this is boring already. This is boring. I'm sorry. No, I'm. I'll see if Amazon has it because. Oh, it's on Kindle for $4 or for $5. You know what? Leonardo, I'm gonna get it on Amazon. I'll put it on my Kindle. It's 690 pages. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna buy it right now. I'll put it on my Kindle because I am literally running out of room. Deliver it to my Kindle. All right, and I'll buy it. There, all done. It's mine now. Thank you very much for the suggestion, Leonardo. I appreciate that. It'll go right to my Kindle now. And lo and behold, this is my Kindle. I've got a lot of books on there already. I've got close to 500 books. Leave that one. So anyway, but when I got the call from the police station that it all fell apart, it's fairly common with this type of crime. Oh, by the way, I was going to ask you, what time is it over there in Italy? I imagine it's really late at night. Um, a robbery that escalated. The victims almost always chosen at random. Of course, we'll keep up your. Yeah, okay. When I found out that they were closing the investigation, it was like that the little thread that was holding everything together just snapped. The hope that they would find whoever did it. I stopped going to work, stopped running. Eventually, I stopped going out at all. It was all the people. I couldn't handle them. All of those faces, I couldn't tell them apart. Any one of them could have been the person in the doorway. Oh, it's not that bad. I thought it was later than that. Is there one? There is one fantasy book that I used to read before. It's called Emmerich's Castle. This book was written by Valerio Evangelisti. Huh. Is it a good book? Do you like it? I mean, what's it about? Oh, it's a fantasy book. Well, what's it about? I stopped going to work, stopped running. Eventually, I stopped going out at all. It was all the people. I couldn't handle them. All those faces, I couldn't tell them apart. Any one of them could have been the person in the doorway. Sebastian was right. I know he was. I was seeing things. He has told me that in the days before I was admitted to the hospital, I was seeing and hearing things all the time. Oh, okay. Yeah, da, 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 da. Tonight was no hallucination. It was just a shadow in the night. I was seeing things, an optical illusion, nothing more. Yeah, we've all been there, right? Right. The faint light cast subtle shadow across the old wallpaper. The moon must have broken through the clouds again. My ears are prickled through. I know I should let it go. I'm listening out for twigs crackling down on the ground. Heavy shoes on frozen snow. Stop, Victoria. Enough of all this. Why must you always be hysterical? I don't know where you get it from. I already read this. Okay. Da, 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 da. I step out onto the land and head toward the stairs. Then I stop. The moonlight doesn't reach here. The darkness is pressing on my bare arms, and something is wrong. Oh, Emmerich's Castle. I'm gonna actually. I can't copy and paste it. Emmerich's Castle. I can't. Okay. Emerch. How do you spell it? EmerYchs. Okay. Emer EmerYch's Castle. Okay. Still ICH's Castle. Title. There we go. Ah. Well, if nothing else, I'm going to try to Google it then because it's not coming up on Goodreads. Oh, that's pretty. I wonder if it come up on EMERYCH. Excuse me. Nope, nothing at all. Google doesn't have it. The only thing that Google has is Emery's Castle, and Amazon just has, like, what do you call those damn things? Legos. So they don't have it either. Okay. Well, thanks for the thought. Where am I? I step into the landing and head toward the stairs, and I stop. The moonlight doesn't reach here. The darkness is pressing down on my bare arms, and something is wrong. I'm not alone. The hairs on my neck are standing on end, and my breaths are quick and shallow. I want to whisper hello, but I can't. I know there's someone here, someone with a blank white face and black hat. Here, he's here. Hide, Victoria. Scream. Run. I turn around slowly, listen. My heart is fluttering in my chest. Don't listen to him. Don't let him see you. Vivian's voice is hoarse and rasping and scratching in my head. I can practically feel her hot breath on my ear, on my neck. No, not hers, someone else's. Short, strained breaths at the end of the row of doors. Breaths echoing my own. Half a heartbeat behind. My feet move as though by themselves. I have to see what's hiding behind the invisible half door in the little room that Vivian tried to conceal from the world. Seeing who's hiding in there. You know who it is? Victoria? Don't go in there. Run, you idiot! I don't want to run, but I've been running for months. I have to find out. I pad silently down the hall, the runner caressing the soles of my feet. none of the floorboards creak. As though hypnotized, I see my fingers reach for the small wallpapered door and pull. Someone is lying in the bed, curled up, back to me. The hinge screeches. The figure in the bed jerks and sits up. So suddenly I recoil. The rug slides under my feet. It's the murderer, the person from the doorway. They turn toward me, their features blank and flattened, and they found me. I don't know how, but they're here at Solka, here to finish off what they started. He's still sitting up in the bed. Neither of us moves. I see the outline of dark tousled hair and a white face, then hear a voice say, I couldn't sleep, Veronica. It's Veronica's voice. For a second, I can't shake the vision of the monster in the darkness, the shadow from my feet, my nightmares. But then she sweeps the hair off her face with a typical Veronica flip. In an instant, it all clicks into place. When I last saw her at a dinner a few hours ago, she seemed normal, sharp, abrasive, and sullen as usual. Now she looks almost shaken, confused. I couldn't sleep in my room. It was too close. Too close to the study. And I thought I might stop thinking about it. I slept everywhere else as I dreamed. She trails off. She sounds embarrassed. I swallow. Find my voice again. It's okay. You can sleep wherever you want. She shakes her head. That much I can see in the darkness. I should do something. I know. Sit down next to her. Ask her about her dream. Put my arm around her, but we aren't that kind of family. Sorry, woke you, I said instead. She doesn't reply. I make to shut the door and go, but then she says so quickly and so softly that it doesn't sound at all like her. Don't shut the door, please. I can't take the closed doors. Not a Solga. Interesting. 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 Well, that is my Saturday live show, everybody. You need to copy the Italian title of the book. Okay, I'll try. Oh Lord. Okay. All right, let's try it then. Okay. I'll bring up my notepad. I.L. Costello. Oops, Costello. Deymerich. We'll try it. I'm one for trying what I can find. So, all right, Google. All right, go to copy, paste. Hey, I found it in Italian. It's number 7, though, Leonardo. What's number 1? Ooh, it's a historical fiction too. How am I ever gonna? Okay. I found it. I found it, but and I went to the first one because it's number 7. So how do I go back to this one? All right, let's see if you guys have this book and it can be translated into English. Nope. If you can find it for me, let me know. You got my email. It's at the bottom of this. Kellie Reviews at yahoo.com. And if you haven't subscribed already to my channel, you know what to do. Well, again, everybody, I want to welcome you and thank you very much for joining me today's Saturday's live show again. I do this every single Saturday without fail, or at least I'm going to try to do it without fail. And then be on the look out for my week in review that's coming up. I'm still editing it from last week. And then I'm also starting this Wednesday, I will be adding back my hot topics. And hot topics can range from whatever I see in my weekly or daily news feed. It could be a snapshot, it could be an actual video, what I think of it, and yeah, that'll be coming Wednesdays every single Wednesday going forward now. And I would probably put it out by tomorrow, upload it for tomorrow and schedule it for Wednesday. Yeah, that's what I have coming out together. And then I'm also going to be working on my quarter library book haul. And you'll be interested to know that I also will be getting a cello. I'll be learning cello as well. So not only that, but I continue to learn piano. I'm learning piano and playing piano. Well, that would be nice. I would be great. Love to have you. And if you want to join, let me know. Send me what do you call it? A link, and I'll invite you to my next show. My shows are always at 11 o'clock Central, and love to have you. So yes, without further ado, you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, stay cool or warm, depending upon where you are in the world. And I will see you next week without fail. Have a great day, all. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your family. Take a little time for yourselves. Bye.